turnovers. And what caused them to lose that last matchup was the mistakes. I mean, they just committed too many turnovers, and they were sloppy with the ball, and that's why they lost.
Here is Livingston. Al-Farouq Aminu picking up that last basket. Thompson outside. Spades with a screen on Harris. It's Thompson off the drive. Terrific design on the pick play. He lays it in. Thompson's got 8 points. And sloppy play clock to be avoided at all costs.
Kevin, just take care of the ball. That's what you want to tell him. Just take care of the ball. Don't throw weak passes. Don't be careless. Don't telegraph your passes. If you keep your focus mentally, you won't make those kinds of careless mistakes.
Here's Stoudemire after the made shot from Klay Thompson. Here's Barea. Cans the 12-footer. And the Mavericks lead by 1. Clark, a lot of give and take between these sides early.
Kevin, how about 6 lead changes in this half already?
Yeah, good one here, guys. This is going to be fun to watch. 2 evenly matched teams, both teams playing hard. And the lead goes right back over. This is a seesaw affair.
The game's there for the taking, but neither team seems to want it.
Last outing for Golden State, they won that game against Milwaukee.
Well, Kevin, they constructed a perfect offensive game plan going into that game, and it was quickly apparent how powerless the defense was to stop it.
Powerless is a good way to put it, Steve. We're unlikely to see that many uncontested baskets again anytime soon.
Here is Livingston. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. And Thompson kicks to Livingston. Out of bounds. Dallas takes possession.
Where was he going with that pass? I mean, that's just an awful turnover.
Leandro Barbosa. He's checked in for Klay Thompson. Here's Harris. 9-point game his last outing. Dallas calls timeout.
Well, you know, the Mavericks got back into the playoffs last season after missing the playoffs in 13. And this is a team that expects to be a playoff factor. Aside from that one season, they've not missed the playoffs since 2000.
And Parsons kicks to Aminu. Good on the triple. Aminu's got 5. Guys, what a wild first half this has been.
I'd say, 8 lead changes, that speaks for itself.
Yeah, back and forth start for sure. This game is setting up to be awfully competitive.
Here is Livingston, right now averaging 5 points a game. He dishes it to Barbosa. Here's Lee. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And let's take a moment to show you the NBA's best rebounding teams over the last 10 games. The Warriors, number 1.
Kevin, that's been a nice run lately. They're making a strong effort on the board, and it's working and paying dividends for them.
The first free throw is good. We're looking at David Lee, you know, guys, the one thing that really stands out about him, and there's a lot, but a very well-rounded offensive game.
Well, he's so mobile. He's an ambidextrous finisher around the rim. He can step out and hit that mid-range jumper. You know, the ability to use both hands kind of reminds me of you, Kevin, how you sometimes hold the mic in your left hand, sometimes with the right.
I'm glad you noticed.
Yeah, one thing about Steve, he is observant. You know that. He doesn't miss much.
Here is Barea, averaging 8 points a game. 1:31 left to play here in the first. Just 5 on the clock. And it's Spates with the rebound.
And David Lee is great playing off the ball in the pick and roll. He really is one of the very best at that particular skill. He can put it on the deck, handles it in many ways like a guard in 6-7 dribble situations. And with his passion, he can punish the defense for trying to help and double team him.
And it's Barbosa, again missing. Dallas has gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from three-point range so far in the first. And Parsons kicks to Harris. Back to Parsons. Out to Harris. Pass to Barea. Stoudemire against Lee. Shot by Stoudemire, no good.
Man, you talk about Lee's versatility. He can score with his back to the basket or facing up. A real triple threat from the high point.
Spades with a screen on Harris. Livingston dishes to Spades. Fires the three. And it's Barbosa, again missing. Now here is Harris. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Barea kicks to Parsons. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Warriors with the rebound.
I don't know if it's just me, but he's looked a step slow since the start of the quarter. His shooting has really suffered.
Iguodala, the pass to Livingston. And low to Lee. From deep, Iguodala.
Wow! Boy, ends the quarter with a dead-eye three as the buzzer sounds.
They had that set up, I think, Steve, and he timed it perfectly.
And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close.
Coming up next Wednesday night, March 11th, Andre Drummond and the Detroit Pistons go up against Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors. It's the real deal.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. What do you guys think about the Warriors here so far?
It was a pretty solid first quarter for this club. They limited their mistakes and really took advantage offensively.
You know what? I like what I've seen from them on the other end, forcing a few giveaways. That's excellent pressure and good activity with the hands.
Mavericks trail by 3. And now brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the court for the Mavericks, Dirk and Chandler up front. J.J. Barea is out there with Ellis. And it's Aminu in at the 3 spot. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
Rajon Rondo's checked in for J.J. Barea. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Warriors.
We've seen a lot of their points coming off penetration in this first half.
You know, we've seen them bearing their fair share of mid-range jumpers tonight, too. I mean, that's a good start for them.
Now here's Curry. Spades with a screen on Rondo. Curry wide open. Mavericks with the rebound. Chandler's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Rondo dishes to Nowitzki. Knocked away. It's Curry with the drive, and he gets it to go. Curry's got 6.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on him. Coach Rick Carlisle is really a competitive guy. He's hardworking, brings a razor-sharp intensity to the job. Former NBA player himself, but he's not what you would call a player's coach. At least he doesn't fit that description as we've become accustomed to hearing it applied. He's not buddy-buddy with this guy. He is clearly all business.
The Warriors leading. Takes it from 10, and the Warriors take on 2 more.
That's a tough shot for anyone. Those runners need a soft touch.
We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. Rondo on top, guarded by Curry. Rondo kicks to Ellis. Nowitzki sets a screen for Ellis from deep. And yes, sir, that one drops. Ellis has got 5.
That's just a case of 2 teammates working perfectly together. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
Iguodala, the pass to Curry. Six on the shot clock. Spades down low, defended by Nowitzki. Dishes it to Curry. Spades with a screen on Rondo. Curry with it. Picked up by Nowitzki. Curry's shot is good.
It was a slow start for him, but he started to take off since we hit the second quarter, guys.
Rondo dishes to Nowitzki. Rondo kicks to Ellis. Back to Rondo. Dallas moving it around. Good. Nowitzki's got it all tied up now for the man.
I mean, what are you going to do defensively? You can just rise up and bang down a three ball like that, and they get such separation with the height advantage.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
Well, it's been 4 years now since the new ownership group took over in Golden State, and I think they've got to be proud of how they've turned this organization around in a short time. 2 straight trips to the playoffs. That actually equaled their total over the previous 20 seasons.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Bogut comes in for Maurice Spates. It's Thompson in for Andre Iguodala. Thompson misses.
I thought he'd make that one. That's his range, and the defense nowhere to be seen.
Rondo passes to Ellis. Chandler with a screen for Ellis. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And the Warrior ownership group bought the team for a then-record $450 million back in 2010. But the team was recently valued, Steve, at $800 million.
Well, some of that is winning. Some of that is the new CBA. But regardless, I mean, they've doubled their season ticket base to over 14,000. And they've actually cut it off there. There's a waiting list now to buy season tickets.
And the free throw is good, now leading by 1. Monte Ellis, a scoring combo guard. The highest career scoring average ever, Steve, for a player never to be selected as an all-star in this league.
Yeah, he's always been on that borderline. Some of it, Kevin, has to do with, he's only been on a winning team 3 of his 8 seasons. 2 of those in Golden State, and then, of course, last year in Dallas. But you also think about the depth in the backcourt in the Western Conference. Boy, it's tough to make that all-star team.
And for Ellis, at times he's been criticized as a volume scorer and not a great defender. Sometimes these labels that players get are hard to shake, whether they're true or not. But I think you can...
Look out! Well, guys, this first half has been about as tightly contested as you could hope for.
Well, neck and neck, how about that? I mean, ferociously competitive. I mean, tight as me in an airplane bathroom. That's a nice hoop for a guy that typically doesn't score a lot.
Warriors have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. Rondo against Curry. Green with a screen on Ellis. Back to Curry. Green dishes to Curry. Chandler with the steal. Ellis left side. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That's on Andrew Bogut.
And let's take a look at now some of the numbers for Stephen Curry. What a run he's had. The past few weeks have been just tremendous for him. 5th in free throw percentage, 7th in assists, and he's in the top 10 in steals per game as well. So this is a guy who you have to be aware of when you've got the ball in your hands.
I want to take a minute here to get in a quick word about his outstanding free throw percentage. I mean, you can see how he's brimming with confidence at that line.
And he knocks down the first one. And so Monte Ellis nails both of them.
You take a look at what Ellis has done so far. He's got 8 points, and he's chalked up 1 3-pointer on the day as well.
And a lot of times, he's one of those players who can get hot and stay hot from the three-point line. So I look for him to continue to search for shots out there.
Fires from 14. Kicks it out to Iguodala. No one near Curry as he lets it go. From outside, off the mark. Mavericks leading by 3. Guys, they've been getting it done.
They sure have been. I mean, really looking good and sharp offensively.
Yeah, knocking down the open shots and really getting a nice flow to their game.
Nowitzki, that's for two. And the shot is long.
Major defensive lapse.